If you've seen the Three Sisters, imagine 3,000 sisters, and that's the sort of views you get in the Gardens of Stone.
The Gardens of Stone is a mystical place to visit. It's been created millions of years ago. It's a natural artwork.
Beautiful ironstone, sandstone formations with plates of iron sticking out of them.
They're quite unique. They don't occur anywhere else in the world, these pagoda formations. And because of the ironstone that's in the rock, it also supports a unique range of plant communities which don't occur in other parts of the Blue Mountains as well.
The whole area is a treasure chest of rare and interesting plants and animals. The giant dragonfly in the swamps and is just one example.
In spring it's just a wonderland of flowers, and that's why it's called the Gardens of Stone, because it's got these beautiful sandstone formations with wildflowers.
Probably the biggest threat to this area has been underground coal mining. Now people think of coal mining as big open cuts, but you can also get damage when underground mining goes underneath and cracks the rock surface and all the water drains out. And so we lose the swamps, we lose the rivers, the creeks, the waterways. So you end up with a very dry plateau with no standing water anywhere. And all the wildlife that depended on that just disappears.
Even after mining, it still has the pagodas, and while some of the swamps are lost, we hope that no more will be lost. We hope that the damage stops now.
This area was first identified by Miles Dunphy as part of the Greater Blue Mountains World Heritage Area back in 1938. And numerous people, many generations of people have fought so hard to protect this area.
The first idea of it, the first time it was really identified, would have been Miles Dunphy, who was a giant of the environmental movement, and it was a visionary in terms of his vision for having these large protected areas around Sydney. He had the first plan for this large area, which was the Blue Mountains and these three forests.
I was delighted that Matt Keane had finally negotiated an amazing outcome that will see this jewel in the crown reserved and managed in a way which will see its values well presented and enjoyed into the future with a budget to match its values. That is a real achievement.
This final stage of the Gardens of Stone proposal is the final jigsaw piece to connect the remaining national parks that surround us, the Woolloomooloo National Park, the Gardens of Stone National Park, the Blue Mountains National Park. You may not see it, but I am overwhelmed with inside knowing that this place, and I'm about to cry, because it's going to be protected. I will, stop it, turn it off.
It completes the full range from the coast to the highest point. It is now reserved in parks, and the 1100 metres Newnes Plateau and Benbullen area is a refuge, a climate refuge that is needed in our climate changing world. It is the coolest place we have on the sandstone plateaus, and it offers a refuge which I think will become more important in time for the animals that will start to struggle down here, even in Katoomba, and they may survive. Things like the giant dragonfly, they may survive up on Newnes Plateau, where they may struggle here just because there's another 100 metres of height.
Yay! We're cheer. I mean, it's been a long time, and it will be a great deal of satisfaction to see the efforts of so many people that over years, many of them like Hayden Washington has been going on this for as long as I've known him, and people have just really put a lot into this and kept going and kept going and kept going. It really probably would be a testimony to persistence, and I think we need to see in the environment area patience and long-term perspective taken. What you see a radical idea 20 years ago is common sense now. And the people who had the foresight to realise this has got to be done and stayed with it until we have a government that's prepared to recognise this, and a population prepared to say, hang on, this is a no-brainer, why aren't we doing this?
Look, this is a great asset for Lithgow. It's easily accessible to mum, dad and the family to come and see one of the most unique areas in all of New South Wales.
The Gardens of Stone and the pagodas in particular are the cachet that will put Lithgow on the map. Once you've seen pagodas, you go, yes, yeah, they're great. They're spectacular, they need protection, and I'm glad I've seen them. Just like you see, spectacular waterfalls or, our rainforests in the northern part of New South Wales. You need to go and see the pagodas in your lifetime.
For Lithgow, a transition town, as the coal industry fades away, we need other attractions to bring people to Lithgow, and the Gardens of Stone is any bit as good as any national park anywhere in New South Wales. It'll be a huge boost for our economy.
We can see that there's a huge demand or appetite for nature-based recreation or just sightseeing. These areas here, they're all part of the chain of forests that we need to protect, and they would be a huge draw card in themselves and a great asset for an area like Lithgow, which could become another Katoomba.
An old mining town. I mean, it's a centre of coal mining since the 19th century. Yes, it'll be significant because it's redefining itself away from being a mining town into being a town which really is a part of the World Heritage Area and links to it. Tourism will increase, access to these sort of areas as it gets more publicised, and I wish them very well in being able to build an economy which is built more around the recreational value of places like this, the inspiring quality of the landscape and the ability to walk in it and to understand something of our unique heritage here.
There's no success in giving up, and there's no success in not seeing an outcome. I mean, you've really got to envisage what a decision maker needs to deliver an outcome and then give it to them. You can, of course, only do that and create a momentum for a reserve. You can't make a government do anything. So you just have to keep rolling along until a talented politician comes along that can see an opportunity and see the merit in what you're trying to achieve. And then you seize that day. And that's Matt Kean. He could do this when Labor couldn't. Labor was hamstrung by the unions, and the coalition delivered it. And that's the truth. It's a real achievement for the coalition, and they have records going back. So this puts Matt up there with Tim Moore and Tom Lewis. Probably puts him in front of them in my book, because this is harder. This has been a hard one. Bob Carr couldn't do it. Bob Debus couldn't do it. Matt Kean did it. And so, full credit